Hello, everyone. Is this someone's water?
My water, yeah, thank you.
Borrow a chair for my sharing, so if you can't see, I think this room is good enough. My name's Matt, or Matthew Greenberg. I am a composer, and I currently work at the University of Wyoming, so I'm somewhat local, although I come from the Bronx, and I compose country music. So if you want to track that sort of snake line, I got my start in opera and musical theater, and then I sort of found where our deep truths connect most universally is on the breath and the body. So unlike some of the other artists here, this is my canvas for today, and as we know as human beings, sometimes it can be a little messy as we work, and I thought about what connects us most, and they say the old adage is death and taxes, and I certainly didn't want to write music about taxes. So I'm taking some of this work that I'm developing here to a concert that I'm going to be doing in Slovenia in a couple months. So I'm curious to know from you all, as this is sort of a public offering of work, if there's any things that resonate with you, any things that might be confusing, or you want to learn more about my process at the end. But this is a moment of songs that involve ham bone, which I see as body percussions in different ways, and thinking about how once every musical thing is sort of stripped away and we're just left with ourselves, how does that make us intrinsically think about music and music making? So these are two moments called Big Revolving Door and Floating Down the Mississippi. A couple years ago, I found myself in London, and I went out each night and drank till I got dizzy. I laughed with my best mate till my head stopped feeling great, all because those English ciders were so fizzy. A few years later, and I found myself exploring, saw the mountains and the beaches way out west. I forgot to put on lotion, and I stepped into the ocean. My friends still call me Mr. Big Red Lobster Chest. It's not the things or places that make up your stories. And at first these memories seem kind of small. It's the people and their faces that go with you. And in the scheme of life, that's what I will recall. We build our life up to obtain the largest mansion, and if we can't afford the rent, we wanna hide. But I'd rather have relationships, not money. So I have company to join with me inside. 'Cause I think life is like a big revolving door. You spin in and you spin out, and then you wish you spun some more. And when you're dizzy and you're feeling incomplete, the folks you meet inside that door will help you land back on your feet. On my 6th birthday, my parents threw a party at a skating rink, and it was a surprise, 'cause they knew I sucked at skating. So I sat out my party waiting, and my entire class saw tears stream from my eyes. I made a promise to my brother I'd go with him and do a polar plunge into a freezing river. And after I jumped in, he backed out and said, "You win." So he gave me his towel so I would stop my shiver. Tiny moments make it possible to realize We need silliness and laughter to survive. You pull closer to the people that help spin ya. And that unsteadiness reminds us we're alive. We build our life up to obtain the largest mansion. And if we can't afford the rent, we wanna hide. So I'd rather have relationships, not money. So I have company to join with me inside. So let's make life like our own big revolving door. We'll spin in and we'll spin out together, moving till we're sore. And when I feel low and I'm feeling incomplete, thanks for opening up your door to help me land back on my feet. This is Floating Down the Mississippi. I got you, you got me. We'll float down the Mississippi, where our love will wash away to shore. And I'm sure there's a way I'll be with you again one day. And our love will keep winding down the river. I got you, you got me. We'll float down the Mississippi, where our love will wash away to shore. And I'm sure there's a way I'll be with you again one day. And our love will keep winding down the river. But our love, unlike life, it's not a pie, it's just a slice, or a bite, or a piece, or a sliver. Weaving up and down, going up and around the town, as it glides down the Mississippi River. I got you, you got me. Together we'll weather seas, weather in the waves that wash upon the shore. And I'm sure that it's true, and I'm always gonna be with you, and our love will keep winding down the river. I've been lost, I've been found, I felt buried in the ground, and I wish that I could see your face again. But like fish that swim upstream, you are always on my team, through the currents from our past to the end. I got you, you got me. We'll float down the Mississippi, where our love will wash away to shore. And I'm sure there's a way I'll be with you again one day, and our love will keep winding down the river. I've been crying out my tears, I've been lying through the years, waiting for your sight to set me free. But I feel you in my skin now, I'll grin and feel the kin how, I know you'll always be a part of me. I got you, you got me, we'll float down the Mississippi, where our love will wash away to shore. And I'm sure there's a way I'll be with you again one day, and our love will keep winding down the river. 'Cause it's not what you did, who you lost, or what you hid. It's a legacy that you leave behind. And you'll find if you love, they'll remember from above. And love will always lead in mind. I got you, you got me. Together we will be sailing through our stories out to shore. And I'm sure that it's true that I do love you. And our love will keep winding down the river. I got you, you got me. We'll float down to Mississippi, where our love will wash away the shore. And I'm sure there's a way I'll be with you again one day. And our love will keep winding down. Our love will keep winding down. Our love will keep winding down. And our love will keep winding down the river. That's it for Jentel Presents. Yeah.
Are there any specific artists that inspire you?
Yeah. So there's an artist right now, Teddy Schwims, that I think does some really interesting things with vocalization. I mean, in terms of like songwriting and interpolating rhymes, Dolly Parton is really good at that, her early stuff. And you think about like Appalachian folk singers are quite skilled in that vein, as well as, you know, more traditional operatic composers. Like, you know, there's something about like rhythms and sort of punctuations that Philip Glass does pretty well in Einstein on the Beach that I've been really drawn to as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. There we go.
So how do you, okay, so you write the lyrics, and then how do you build that?
Yeah. So usually what I'll do is I'll start journaling and just sort of finding things that work. And then once I sort of have a theme or a body, I'll sort of really, really slow it down line by line and see sort of where it lives in my body and sort of play with that. And then I'll really build. And the reason why I like country music as a genre in composition is not everything has to be, you know, rhyming couplets at the end. There's a lot of assonance and mid sounds that work. And in country music too, you know, you say how you really feel, right? I was freaking pissed and I killed him, right? Like that's sort of the vein of it, and sort of breaking down to what is really essential, like what we do feel and embody as humans. So once I sort of have a melody, I'll go find a piano, both physical piano or a piano on my computer, and sort of play with melodies. And then based on time signatures and rhythms that I'm finding, I'll sort of build something in the body as well. So for Big Revolving Door, it's sort of it's like a Latin plena sound. So it's a syncopation, dun, dun, dun. So sort of getting a regular and irregular heartbeat, whereas floating down the Mississippi, it's sort of a build on a classic ham bone phrase with different sounds. Yeah.
What kind of notation do you use?
Yeah. So I have a program. So the pure answer is a very messy notebook of lots of scribbles and lots of like ideas, and then I'll be able to go into my computer in Adobe Audition, and I'll sort of plunk notes and rhythms out and have it sort of played back to me so I can hear, and where I want sort of notes to be a little longer or shorter, and then go edit it with technology and then bring it back to the body.
So you'll have something you can come back to in 20 years and remember what you did.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, like an archive of the voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever add musical instrumentation to it?
So some of the tracks that I can build have, you know, snare drums, guitars, and, you know, I'm sort of working with playing what is most, what I'm curious about, what is most effective if things are just stripped away and it's just the voice and body, which every person has. But then, so like musical tracks, like Floating Down the Mississippi, there's a banjo track that I have built in, and it just helps me sort of listen to the I got you, you got me, right? So just sort of different things that help me keep rhythm, if nothing else. But I do play a few string instruments and piano, but I've toyed with the idea of looping tracks, so sort of doing things live with a looper, even if it was like the voice of a banjo, and pressing loop so that it would sort of give a live accompaniment in person.